Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody has been doing good. I've been overwhelmed recently the past couple of weeks. One, my viral video still getting all of the views that it is and all the comments, and I'm still getting reached out. Like just today, we just had, we just went live with Fox and Friends. So that was pretty cool. And then yesterday, I had an interview with a producer for a possibility of being on a TV show with them. So 3 weeks in of this viral video, and I'm still, dealing with a lot. Plus, our work schedule, we were doing every other day. They have us going back now to every day. So I'm trying to get back into like a routine where the kids are going to daycare, coming home, trying to get dinner ready in a reasonable time. Either way, it's just been really stressful and overwhelming trying to get back into our norm. I was super enjoying those days off that we had. But anyways, I knew it was gonna come to an end. We'll see what happens though, right? Anyways, I've been wanting to get back on here, and with everything that's just been going on, we've had visitors, getting back into that norm routine that I was just telling you guys about. I haven't had a chance to get on and talk to you guys, so I wanted to do so. I posted a viral video of Oliver on TikTok, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, and it's now up to over 80 million views all over media. We've been on, let's see, we just were on Fox and Friends today. We were on Inside Edition. Good Morning America did an article. We've been doing all the local news stations in Colorado Springs, and those are just the ones that have contacted us, and BuzzFeed was another one. Everybody else has just been kind of like taking articles from ones that have already been done, but we're everywhere. We've been, I've been getting comments and messages from people all over the world, which is just still, it's just so insane to me that this is still happening. But anyways, so I posted on YouTube a couple weeks ago a viral part 1 of kind of explaining the background a little bit, and I didn't get a chance to actually go on and talk to you guys when I posted that, and I wanted to do that here soon, but here it is, like almost 2 weeks later, that I'm finally getting on and doing one. I am trying to break these video vlogs up. I don't want to talk forever to you guys about what's been going on, and kind of, I definitely want to get into answering some questions and talking about a lot of the concerns people had, and kind of, just really explaining myself and telling my story. But if I did that all in one vlog, it would be so long. So I'm going to split them up into different parts. You guys are just going to have to bear with me. It's also helping me kind of keep on track into, you'll see in the description what I plan on talking about. So if you don't even care what I have to say in this video, you don't even have to watch it. So I think by, keeping it short, even though I've been already going on too long about it right now, but I think definitely keeping it short and kind of just have one talking points for each different part, I think that will kind of help out a little bit. So for this part, I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about the why I had Oliver in swim classes starting at 6 months. But to understand the why, I really have to tell you guys the story about my experience with my older son, Jace. I know the viral video is about Oliver, and I want to keep it on infant survival, but to understand where I'm coming from, as that mom point of view, I need you guys to understand my journey that I had with Jace. And so this vlog is basically just going to be about Jace and my experience with starting with him, and what I've learned and what I wish I'd have done differently. So if this is not your cup of tea, if you can care less, thank you guys for listening up to this point. But I'm going to continue talking here, and we're just going to have story time. I ended up just going to go get myself a water, because I know I'm going to be like, not out of breath, but my mouth is going to get so dry from all this talking, so bear with me. Freaking I'm obsessed with Propel, my favorite flavored water. It's weird because I don't like drinking plain water. I get made fun of, and my husband gets so mad because I end up like wasting money on flavored products. But anyways, okay, back to what I'm here to talk to you guys about. Why I signed Jace up. So Jace was moving this a little bit closer. So anyways, Jace was about 3-4 months, and our one friend had asked if we wanted to join them in like a mommy and me class, that they had at Little Fins, and dads can go to. I think they changed the name to Aqua Babies now, but at the time it was called Mommy and Me or Bubble Babies. So anyways, we started taking, but I wasn't allowed to dunk Jayce under. They don't let you take them underwater until they're about 6 months old. So when I would first start going, it was more of just kind of playing with him in the water. They did lullabies, they did nursery rhymes. I kind of just carried Jayce around, and we would have little toys off to the side of the pool that they would give us, or like little floaty devices that Jayce could just play in. It was a super cool bonding experience. And then he was about 9-10 months, and I started learning about drowning. Like I knew what drowning is. Like I very familiar with drowning. I was a lifeguard for 4 years, but that's not what I meant. Like there was statistics that I didn't know existed, and it didn't take me, it took me a while to learn about them. Like, so for example, drowning is the leading cause of accidental death for kids 1 through 4. Like that was something I didn't know. I also didn't know that at 6 months you can teach them how to basically float and get them water safe. Like I thought that was when they were older. Like I am pretty sure I was 7 or 8 when my parents had put us into swim class, or I don't know if it was that old, but I kind of have like a memory of us doing it, but I don't recall what age we were, and I definitely know we were not 6 months or even a year. So going back, like, yes, I knew what drowning was, and I knew that it did exist, but I didn't know it was as common as it was, and I also didn't know it was something that you can teach your kids at such a very young age. And so I was looking into putting Jayce into the one-on-one trainings, and we started him. He was about 13 months when he went to his first training. He hated it, like absolutely hated it. But it wasn't the water he hated as soon as I took him and gave him to somebody else. Jayce had really, really bad separation anxiety. And so that was like a struggle from the beginning, was trying to, I felt like I call them like a leech, because like they get stuck on you and you just have to like pull them off. Like it was kind of one of those situations. I had to pull them off of me and hand them to an instructor, and the instructor was awesome, but she just played with him for 3-4 months in the water. Like he really didn't grasp any of the water safety techniques. And I started, okay, so like this is something I'm putting my money into. Like, is Jayce, is he trainable? I know that sounds silly, but I see all these other kids who's starting after him and are already passing their level 1, or already, doing the floats on their own, and Jayce was kind of just stuck. But he wasn't so much stuck in like he wasn't grasping it, he just wasn't really doing it because they couldn't get him to be comfortable enough with water to really work with him. And so it was a struggle. I felt really bad. Well, shortly after all of that, new instructor came in, and she was a lot more extreme in a good way. But she just knew kind of what Jayce's personality was, and she's like, hey, we can't baby him. He's a 1.5 years. We really just have to push him, and we just have to just let him figure it out, because if we baby him, he's never going to want to do it. And so I was happy that she kind of took that approach, because she was 100% correct. As soon as she really started pushing Jayce, he started picking it up a lot faster. So he was about, closer to the age of 2, and he passed his level safety class. And he still cried every class. Like he definitely was, he never got out of like that, that separation anxiety phase until he was about 2 years old. But he kind of learned that if he cried while he was floating on his back, and if he stuck his head under or started like throwing tantrums, that he was gonna get water in his face. And so he started learning, like, I guess, cause and effect, or like consequences, I guess. And he started picking it up a little bit more, but that didn't mean he wasn't crying. It was more, it just got harder to watch, because you're now seeing him trying to learn how to swim. He's getting better, but the crying hasn't stopped. Regardless, Alex and I, we felt really uncomfortable watching it. So there was times where we sat down in the hall. We all were on our phones all the time. We would have to sit in offices and close the door. The manager would have to come on by and tell the other, instructors, like, hey, you really got to help this kid out and try to get him to be more comfortable. Other parents are complaining that we have a kid crying the whole entire class. So like, there was so much going on where I did not like it. Like as a mom, hearing other parents complaining about my child, and not even being able to watch my son at his own swim class. Like, those were all things that I felt guilty and terrible over. I had a lot of anxiety. Like, I did not enjoy going to swim classes with my son, Jace. And so we thought about pulling him out. But it was just like, it was weird because that day that Alex and I were in the car, we were like, I think we're done. I think we need to take a break. I think we got to wait a little bit. Jace is, in this really intense separation anxiety phase, and he hasn't, really stopped. Like, he's starting to learn more. He's starting to do great. He's passing the levels, but like, he's not comfortable with it. Like, he does not enjoy being in the water, and I don't want to pressure him doing something that he just does not want to do. So it was funny because it wasn't funny, but it was just kind of like, I guess, coincidental or ironic. The same day that we were talking about this, I went home and I went on Facebook, and all of the stories that I was seeing on my news feed were all about drowning. I had a friend who told me that, or not, she didn't tell me, but she had posted on Facebook that she had to take her son to the hospital, and the doctors had told her that if, she didn't bring him in when she did, that he would have had, a really high chance of dying from secondary drowning. I saw an article about, somebody's kid who died in a lake. I saw another article about, a vacation drowning where they were all in the hotel room. Like, I saw all of these different news articles, my own personal, people that I follow posting their own personal stories, like, all at once. And so it was kind of like speaking to me when I saw all of those, and I had all of these doubts going through my mind. I automatically, kind of thought, well, I had to put myself in that position. Is me sitting there, is it going to be harder for me to watch my kid cry, or for me to share a story about my kid drowning? So the obvious answer is there. Obviously, I'd rather hear my kid cry at swim class and to learn to get that water safety, so I don't have to have that story of, him drowning. So we continued on with it, and it did get better. It definitely did get better. He had reached his second birthday, and that summer is when we really saw a difference with Jace and how he was at swim class. He was very comfortable with the water. That summer, we went to the beach, and we had a pool of the place that we were staying at, and a lot of parents approached me saying, we've never seen a 2-year-old so comfortable with being in water. We did the Wolf Lodge. We gave the lifeguards a heart attack because Jace wanted to keep jumping in, and they weren't familiar with a 2-year-old jumping in on their own and coming up for safety all on their own. Like, we've got approached by everybody all the time when we were out swimming, and he really did start enjoying the classes, and it made things a lot nicer. Sorry, I just hear Oliver crying down there, so I'm gonna stop for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go take care of Oliver. I'll be right back up to finish the story. Okay, sorry about that. Jayce and Oliver both started crying downstairs, so I thought I would go help Alex, my husband, down there. But going back, like, when Jayce started getting more comfortable with swim classes and being in the water, it made things so much more enjoyable. It was easier for us. We got to enjoy it. We got to take him places that I would not have felt comfortable with if he wasn't water safe. Like, there was a difference in how we felt for sure when he did become more comfortable. But like, going back, would I have done it differently with Jayce? Knowing what we did know and when we knew it, no, I would not do any differently. But what I did want to do differently with, a second or third kid was start them earlier. So the nice thing is like, from 6 months to 9 months, they have like that, they don't have that separation anxiety. And what that is, handing them off to other people to hold, or giving them, while they look over and they see mom and dad, they're not necessarily feeling that, they don't feel like they're separated. And that's where they get the name, separation anxiety. So, again, we would not have wanted to do anything differently with Jayce because I didn't know. I didn't know that they could start that early. I didn't know it was even possible to do it that early. I did not feel comfortable to do it that early with Jayce. Like, I knew only what I knew, and I was happy with, continuing on though. But like I said, when we had a second, definitely told myself that with swim classes, we would start a little bit earlier, and we would try to get them into that gap where they didn't have that separation anxiety. So that brings me to why we started Oliver, but I will talk about that in my next part. Something I do want to bring up though, and I will make sure I say this in every single video that I talk about this in. We are not pushing tossing a baby into water. Like, that is something that I was comfortable with. I will go over that with you guys here in probably part 3 or 4 with you guys in my vlogs, but we're not pushing, myself and Little Fins, we are not pushing, you know, swim schools or other parents to toss their kids in to teach them how to swim, or to, you know, get them to see if they know how to recover. That is not what we're pushing. What we are pushing though is water safety, and just understanding, and just, you know, knowing that drowning is the #1 cause of accidental deaths for such, you know, 1 through 5, and then I think it goes up to being like the second. Don't quote me on the statistics, but I do believe it does go up to the second cause of accidental drowning for up to like age 14. So being that it's so high and so not talked about, like when I posted this video, it didn't surprise me that I was gonna get a lot of controversy and a lot of people wanting to debate about it, but it did surprise me how so many people didn't even know that it was even possible. And then I started thinking about how I was a mom, and I was even going to a swim school, but I still didn't learn until Jace was over a year old. So it's just getting that knowledge out there and just explaining that this is serious, but this is also something that we can make 100% preventable. So I will get on with you guys here in the next week or 2 and do a part 3 for you guys, and kind of get more into, you know, the Oliver part of everything and why we did it and what it looks like right now, and kind of talk to you guys about your questions and give you guys some of my answers that I have, and just basically talk to you guys like from a mom's point of view. Like, I don't have any relations to Little Fins. I am not a business owner. I am just a mom that found drowning very important to our lives, and I'm very passionate about it. But I wanted to say thank you guys for watching. I will be talking to you guys soon. Have a good day.